Welcome to your power flow practice. If you have a couple blocks, go ahead and grab them. We might use them for today's practice and we might not, but it's always handy to have them on hand when we begin. We're going to get started today in a child's pose. You can take this with the knees connected or with the knees wide, whatever shape is calling to you. I'm going to take it with the knees wide and just find a little bit of movement to make my way down to the mat. You might do the same, just welcoming a little bit of movement into the joints, taking this as your first opportunity to check in. And then when the head meets the mat, finding a little side to side movement before landing in stillness at center and letting your awareness fall on the breath. As we stay here in this shape, focusing on the breath, I invite you to get curious about what you would like to create on your mat today. And looking at more than just the physical shapes. Really thinking about the feeling that you would like to walk away from this practice with. And that's likely different for each of us, but it might look like empowerment. It might look like ease, peace, maybe possibility, maybe strength, maybe even the knowledge that you are enough. One more breath here. Slowly rise up, coming to meet in a tabletop position. Tuck the toes, draw the knees beneath the hips. And if it's comfortable to take the hands beneath the wrists, taking the hands I hope your hands are beneath the wrists. If it's comfortable to take the wrists beneath the shoulders, taking them there. Beginning to find some cow-cat movement. If you notice the wrists are pretty sensitive still, just walk the hands forward until there is a little bit more space available. You might even move front and back as you take your gaze up and down. Even in these first few shapes, starting to get really curious, really quiet about how these movements are occurring in the body today. Noticing any places that may benefit from a little focused attention through this practice. One more slow round together. Releasing back to center. This time we're taking the fingertips in towards the knees. Gentle shift back. And always know you can adjust the intensity of this shape with the placement of the hands. So if you take them a little further away from the knees, it's going to get a little spicier. Maybe a lot spicier. You take them closer to the knees. You're going to welcome a little bit more ease. So one of the shapes that we will explore in today's power practice is crow, which really asks a lot of our wrists. So I like to be intentional about warming up the wrists when I know what they're going to do. Awesome. Take the fingertips to the side of the mat. Continue that movement. This time left, right? So knowing that we will be asking our wrists, our hands, our arms to support the full weight of our body. May change how you approach this gentle warm-up. And even sometimes I like to drive home those subtle messages. So in our crow pose, we find our spider fingertips. I find it helpful sometimes when I'm warming up the wrists in a practice, especially knowing that crow will be a part of it, to help eliminate any thought. So taking those fingers in the same way, finding that spider grip, even as we shift from side to side. Awesome. Keeping the hands here, you might adjust where the knees are to begin to create some small circles. And moving through the other direction. And release. Take the fingertips forward, coming back into a tabletop position, maybe pausing to roll them out. And then from here, finding 3 big hip circles in each direction. Moving the other way if you haven't headed there already. Awesome. Come back to center. Pause here, neutral spine. Extend the left arm, right leg out, finding our bird dog shape. But today we're going to hold here. So really beginning to fire everything up. Feel your core engage, looking to keep the spine neutral. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. This time extending the left leg, right arm. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow release. And just know if that's too much, you can start with 1. So extending the arm or just extending the leg. You can always make this shape work for you. Coming back to the first side, extending the right leg, left arm. This time taking it out to this side. Finding that awkward airplane shape. It gets a little harder to talk. Maybe lifting 1 inch higher, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Other side, extending left leg, right arm, opening to the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Go ahead and lower all the way down to your belly. Take the arms out to goal pose, out to 90 degrees, tenting up onto the fingertips, moving through some oscillating cobra. As we inhale, coming up through center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, gazing over the left elbow. Inhale, center. Exhale, dropping left, gazing right. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. 1 more round each side. Inhale, rising through center. Exhale, gazing left. Inhale, center. Exhale, gazing. Inhale, come up through center, pause here. Then slow lower all the way down. Take the elbows to land beneath the shoulders, finding a Sphinx pose. If it's okay with the legs extended straight behind you, keep them there. If you want a little bit more, take the legs out wider. We're gonna be here just long enough to Give some love to the neck. So beginning by taking the chin towards the left side of your space, then slow roll all the way to the right. And you might stay with these half circles, but if it feels better to go all the way around, moving through the shape in a complete circle, do that. Taking it from side to side. Then coming back, looking over your left shoulder. You might even be able to see your heel. You might even take that gaze all the way behind you, taking a look at that left leg. Back to center. So you inhale, taking the gaze over the right shoulder. Hey, what's up, heel? And back. Looking at your friends behind you, how are you? Back through center. Gazing over the right. And center. Awesome. Release the torso to the mat. Take the hands beneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Connect the knees. Press all the way back, child's pose. Really invite that relationship between the torso and the top of the thighs here. Taking easy movement if it feels good. Awesome. Walk the hands forward, root through the hands, take the feet hip distance apart, tuck the toes, tailbone to the sky, downward facing dog. Taking any movement that feels good here as you land in the first down dog of the practice. Maybe that's breath, maybe that's dropping a hip or taking the knees to a hover. Slowly begin to walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, lengthen out. And exhale to fold. Inhale, extend the arms all the way overhead. Maybe a little gentle back bend this time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Arms to opposite elbows. My favorite, ragdoll. Staying here for 3 breaths. Really welcome the release of any tension in the low back. Find movement that serves you, serves your body, serves your purpose, your intention for this practice. Slowly release the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step one foot, then the other back. We're in a high plank. A little harder to talk in a plank than in a forward fold. Stay here, pull everything in. First high plank of the practice. Build a little heat, holding here for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From the toes or from the knees, shift forward, release to low plank. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat. Step or hop the feet to the top. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, step back, high to low plank. Inhale, rising to upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, just like that. Step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hands to the mat. One foot, then the other back. High to low plank. Inhale to upward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly, with a big bend in the knees, walk the hands to meet the feet at the back of your mat. Then take the feet wide, toes out, heels in. We are in a yogi squat. Coming back to where we're headed, thinking about how awesome it is to have open hips when we explore our crow pose. So if you need a reason to love on this shape right now, think about how it will serve you when you explore crow. A lot thinking about the way to get better at crow is to do more crow. And the way to probably open your hips in yogi squat and love it more is probably just the same. Lots of things to love our hips all the time. I always need it. And one more breath here. Slowly release the hands, take the feet back in beneath the hips. This time from the back of the mat, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, walk the hands to the top of your mat. We're in a high plank. Landing here in this high plank, take the toes out to the edge of the mat. We're gonna stay here and find shoulder taps for 20. Hugging everything into center, beginning with the right hand to left shoulder for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take the feet back in beneath the hips, shift forward, release to low plank, inhale to upward, and exhale, downward facing dog. Step the feet to the top of the mat. This time the big toes connect. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, sink back to chair. Maybe wiggle, maybe tell your body it's happening. Get on board, we're doing this. Pull the pit of the belly into the spine, keeping the arms up. Maybe they come to heart center. Maybe praying that this is over soon. No, just kidding. Sink 1 inch lower. Wiggle the toes. We got this. Holding here. One more strong breath. Inhale, rise up. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. From the same shape, inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, sink back to chair. This time, finding a chair prayer twist. getting more serious about our praying for it to end. Just kidding, a little. Twisting to the right. If it's available, this mic's really giving me grief today. If it's available, hooking the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Holding here. One more breath. Slowly release to center. Sweep the arms as you rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart center. Whoo, sink to chair. Sink, sink, sit back to chair. Sink in. We got this. This time we twist to the left, hooking the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Praying harder. It's good, it's good, it's good. One more breath. Release the center. Inhale, rise up. This time heel toe the feet hip distance apart. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Keep the left foot where it is. Step the right foot back to a 45. Inhale, rise up. Warrior one. Slowly take the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the palms together. Inhale, open through the heart center. And exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale to fold. This time as we rise up, inhale, release the arms overhead. Warrior one. Exhale, step the back foot up, hands to heart center. Full breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot stays, left foot steps back to a 45. Rise up, warrior one. Hands release behind the back. If you can remember which pinky was on top, put the other one on top. Inhale, open up the heart center. And exhale to fold. Once more, just like that. Inhale, rise up. Hips are square. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Release the hands, bend overhead. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Hands come through heart center. Inhale to sweep overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, high plank. Holding here in this high plank, finding high plank saw, or a little rock saw. So staying in this high plank shape, just shifting forward and back like a saw for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send the hips back, downward facing dog. Slowly step to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hand, step or hop back, high to low plank. Inhale to upward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly release the knees to the mat. and come to your seat. Now taking a couple minutes to explore crow. So whatever that looks like for you, taking any variation. That might be wrapping the triceps with the knees. That might be taking the knees to the back of the triceps. You might explore side crow, flying crow, one arm side crow, any of the things. Personally, it's been a minute since I've done crow, maybe for you too. So I'm going to ease into it. Coming back to the foundations, to the basics, hands are shoulder distance apart, finding that spider grip. So you want to have space beneath the fingers, you want to root through the pads, looking for that color change in the fingernails if you can see it. If your nails are painted, just trust it's happening. So shifting forward, really want to be taking that weight into the fingers, not dumping into the joints of into the wrist joints. You can keep a little bit of space between the feet, or you can keep the feet together. I personally don't have a preference in how I teach. I think that every body is different. So what feels good, and even from day to day, it might be a little bit different. So just know that's okay. You can take support beneath the feet if it feels good, but otherwise, finding that stability, wrapping the triceps in and back, and then gently coming onto your perch, taking the knees to the outside, keeping that gaze ahead. If you look down, you'll fall down, so gazing out a couple feet ahead of the hands, and slowly, one foot then the other, drawing everything up and in. Holding for 2 minutes. No, just kidding. Slowly release. Sometimes I find it's nice to pick a count to aim for. And I feel like the reason is it's remarkable what we're capable of if we're headed towards something. If we're just kind of freely exploring movement, we might let ourselves off the hook a little earlier. So totally up to you, but even sometimes choosing something as simple as a 5 count. Just say I'm gonna count, and then in your mind or out loud, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna keep yourself engaged a little longer than you maybe otherwise would. Maybe taking your side crow. Again, a couple options with the side crow. We've been here before, but you can take one elbow to each the knee and the hip, or taking that single arm side crow, where instead your back arm is floating free and you're using your front arm kind of as the midway point. And really, I don't find that one is easier than the other or harder than the other. Total preference. I'd almost say even the one arm is a little easier because you're less likely to fall off your shelf. 5, 4. Holding. We'll take about 30 more seconds to explore crow. Maybe just giving a quick demo of that single arm if you were on the fence and you were wondering what the heck are you talking about. So in our side crow with both arms, taking one here, really all about that rotation, that mobility in the spine, being able to twist, create that base. In the single arm side crow, just taking it to center. So the one arm is free, same positioning, still about shoulder distance apart, still finding that spider grip, still gazing out ahead. But this time, the arm is in the middle, lifting up. And I promise you, more shaking doesn't mean it's harder. Holding ourselves up is hard. Our body's fatigued. That's okay. Let's meet in a quick child's pose. Slowly make your way into a downward facing dog. Then guiding the feet to meet the hands. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Step the feet back, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg long behind you. Pause here, maybe coming onto the toes of the right foot. Then step through to the center top of the mat. Open up, rise to warrior two. So looking for that T shape with our feet. Front foot intersected by the back foot. Breathing some life into our hips here. One more strong breath. Slowly straighten the front leg. Draw the hands open, finding triangle. Release, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. This time as you draw forward for triangle, you might open up like this, or you might engage the core. Act like you're holding a beach ball out front. You notice it gets a little harder to talk. You might have to pant your way through it. That's okay. Whatever it takes. Slowly release, open up, warrior two. Walk your hands through center, feet come parallel to one another. Little movement from side to side in our wide leg fold position. Then landing at center. Slowly walk the hands towards what was the back of your mat. The foot follows. Open up, warrior two, right side. Checking that you have a line on your toe. You don't want to get too fussy. I don't like getting too fussy about alignment. But if you notice your knee is collapsing in, this is a big problem for me. Draw your knee open. Make sure you can see that big toe. Give it a little wink. Hey, what's up? I see you. Straighten up, open to triangle. Release, warrior two. Opening to triangle a second time, staying where you were at. We're extending both arms. Patch your way through, whatever it takes, it's fine. Stretch it out, engage your core, reach, reach, reach. And release, warrior two. Take the feet parallel. This time just finding a little bit of movement from side to side. So moving, beginning with the right hand down, right palm up. And keeping this position with the feet, so we're kind of in this 5-pointed star, but we're just gonna find a little movement from side to side, rotating the palms as you shift from side to side. So just a little pause to give our shoulders a little love. Woo. You might keep your gaze neutral. You might follow the flipping palm. Slowly. Maybe you're getting spicy. Okay, awesome. Come back to center. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Slowly walk the hands to the top of the mat. Step the back foot to meet the front. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Finding our dancer pose, we'll take 2 rounds on each side. Beginning with the left leg as our stable foot. So grounding down, drawing the knee up, taking the hand to the inside of the foot. So the big thumb is connecting to the big toe. Squeezing everything into center, and as you feel ready, slowly releasing the foot into the hand, opening up as you hinge forward, maybe adjusting so you don't smoke your wall. Setting that focal point out in front of you, keeping your chest lifted and proud. One more breath. And slow release. I always tell the strong side, you can hang out there all day. We're gonna hold this second side for 1/2 of a second. No, just kidding. Again, taking the thumb to the big toe or to the ankle. You can always take it to the ankle too if that feels good, or the calf, pardon me. Squeezing everything in, finding that focal point, and gently releasing. One more breath. Slowly release. Shake it out and celebrate, and then repeating on the second side. First side. How many legs do we have? Here we go. Maybe you can lift the arm, the chest 1 inch higher this time. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Slow release. Final time, rooting through our strong right leg. Softening the standing leg, holding here. One more breath. Slow lower and celebrate. Woohoo! For real. Okay. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Hop back or step back, high to low plank. Inhale to upward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg extends long behind you. Extend the leg, then draw the heel to the bum. Draw the right knee to the left elbow. Release it back long. Heel to bum. Right knee, right elbow. Other right. Release. Heel to bum. Right knee, left elbow. Release, extend long. Take the foot to the mat. Moving through the other side, extend the left leg long. Draw the heel to the bum. Left knee, right elbow. Release, extend it long. Heel to the bum, left knee, left elbow. Release. Final time, heel to bum, left knee, right elbow. Release all the way back. Stepping to your downward facing dog. Release the knees to the mat. Sink back to child's pose. From here, rising up, and we'll take a minute to explore an inversion of your choice. So that might be a forearm handstand, forearm headstand, I'll get there. Might be handstand, might be forearm stand, might be waterfall or legs up the wall. You can use the support if the wall starts calling to you. Anything that feels good. We'll take about a minute to explore, so now you have some time to play with it, and then we will meet back in child's pose. If you're taking a forearm headstand, so that's my default, especially lately, know that if it's something that you're coming into all the time, there's still a lot of space to get creative with it. So if you are getting pretty confident in the shape, feeling really strong about the foundations of it, you can always get a little bit more creative, moving your legs. One thing that I'll show that I like to do sometimes is like the crunches, which is a good little challenge in it. It's fun to explore the stability and challenge in that. So know you have tons of options, and you can always get really creative and just move in a way that feels good and is free. So if you're taking the crunches, drawing the knees into the chest, slowly extending all the way back up
to straight. Pausing. Slowly draw the knees into the chest. And release. And you can move pretty quickly through these. I like to reset sometimes to really take the full pause, lengthen out, reset. You can tell it gets a little bit more challenging to speak. That's good. One more time. One more breath. Slowly lower all the way to the mat with control. And meet back in child's pose. You might keep the arms extended, or you might stack. I sometimes like to stack the hands. Rest the forehead on top, just to really allow the spine to reset. Inversions are awesome, but they can put a lot of stress on the body if we're not countering that movement mindfully after we enter them. One more breath. Rise up. Make your way all the way onto your belly. Checking where you're at on your mat. And then releasing the hands beside the body. We're going to move through a few different rounds of locust variations. So beginning by releasing the palms down beside the body. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lifting up. Taking this for 3 rounds. So this is our second. Exhale, release. And maybe you can lift a little bit higher each time. Squeeze a little harder. Engage a little more. Exhale, release. Take the arms out to a cactus. Inhale, rise up. And then instead of releasing on the exhale, take the right elbow to the right hip. Inhale, center. Exhale, left to left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right to right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left to left. Inhale, center. And release. Take the cheek to the mat, pausing here. One refreshing breath. This time, keeping the arms where they're at, or if it's available, extend the arms out in front, finding your Superman variation. Gazing down, keeping the neck neutral. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. 5 rounds here, 4 to go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Final time, we're already there. Inhale, lift up to Superman. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take the hands beneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Press all the way back to a child's pose, knees connected. Rise up. You might take a block here. I'm gonna take a block just to demo how we can use this. We're gonna move through camel in progression. So camel's such a good shape, but it can feel really intense. I like to ease into it. I don't know what the heck is happening here. I like to ease into it. So we're going to begin. You can take this block between the thighs. That's what I'm gonna do, just to help drive home that engagement. We're keeping the hips driving forward. And then that movement, as we're driving the hips forward, engaging everything, slowly finding that back bend. And I welcome you to join me. You can take it, hands to the hips straight away if that feels good. But I like to take the arms to a cactus and really ease my body into what's about to go down. We'll take 5 rounds, taking your full expression on the 5th round, and finding a little bit more depth each of the first 4. So beginning with an inhale, extending the arms overhead. Exhale, draw the arms to a cactus. Gentle movement back. So at the same time we're moving back, sending the hips forward, feeling the engagement to the back body. Release. Inhale, arms extend overhead, round 2. Exhale, arms to a cactus. Inhale through center. Exhale to cactus. Inhale through center. Exhale. A little bit further. Inhale through center. This time our final round, finding your full expression. Hands might come to the low back. You might take the hands to the heels. Option to really open up through the throat, take the chin up, and we'll hold for a count of 3. Inhale, extend, a slow 3. Exhale to your full expression, whatever that looks like. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Let the block drop. Using it. Press back to child's pose. Option to keep the arms extended, or maybe you release them beside the body, palms to the sky. Or it might feel good to stack the wrists again. Stack the palms, pardon me. Rise up, come all the way back down to your belly. Final back bending pose here. Exploring half or full floor bow. So if you're taking half, taking one foot up, leaving the other foot down, taking it this way, and keep the arm extended out. You can keep the arm by the side, wherever feels good, or taking full, taking both hands to the feet or to the shins. Really thinking about pulling everything into center, so we don't want to let everything splay open. Really want to keep everything engaged and active, just as we did in all of our other back bending shapes to prepare for this. We'll take 4 rounds, so that if you're moving through each side, you have an opportunity to repeat each side twice. Inhale, rise up. So thinking about sending the feet into the hands, about driving the hip bones into the mat. Exhale, release. And this is a good shape to use props with too. I would really benefit from it because it's a challenging shape for me. But you can place a towel or a blanket. A bolster would be pretty aggressive, but just beneath the torso, helping to lift the body up. But no, if you don't have props, I don't have anything right now, and that's totally fine too. Just know that's an option. Coming into our second round, inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Our third and fourth round, we'll hold each for a complete breath. Preparing for our third round. Inhale, rise up. And slow release. Final round, best round. Inhale, lift up. Holding here, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Amazing, slow release. Rise up enough to roll all the way over to your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Gentle movement side to side. Extend the right leg long. Draw the left knee into the chest. Pause here, 1 breath. And then slow twist to the right side of your space. Maybe staying here, maybe drawing the heel of the right foot towards the bum, maybe connecting with the left hand. Gently unwind, release back to center. Root through the soles of both feet, mat distance apart. Gentle drop of the knees from side to side. Pausing back at center, extending the left leg long this time as the right knee draws in towards the chest. Supine twist to the left. Staying here or finding that connection between the bottom leg and the right hand. Slowly release to center. Draw the knees to the chest. Find any final movement that you're craving before you come to land in your final resting pose. Maybe a little happy baby. Maybe a nice full body extension. Or anything else along the way. And when you're ready, taking the feet to the bottom corners of your mat, allowing the arms to fall softly by the body, palms drawn towards the sky. Take a full breath in. Long, slow breath out. Shavasana. Stay here as long as it feels good to do so, but if you're ready to close your practice with me, gently wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Extend the arms overhead. Lengthen from the fingertips all the way to the toes. Then slowly drawing the feet in toward the bum. Hands come to the back of the thighs.
Gently rock and roll up and down your spine, coming to meet in an easy seated position. Drawing the hands through heart center, taking one final deep cleansing breath together to close our practice. Inhaling fully through the nose. And let it all go out the mouth with a sigh. Thank you so much for landing on your mat and sharing space. Have the best day.